Good day to Mendel and my friends. I am Karen from Group 5. In this video, we are going to present about efficient portfolio. My group members have Jenny, Ellen, Emilia, Leon, and me. So let us start with the introduction. First, we choose 5 companies listed on Bursa Malaysia, which are Nestle Malaysia Berhad, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, Sunway Berhad, Mastis Berhad, and Axiata Group Berhad. Second, we choose a time period that was from May 2020 to May 2021 with a monthly frequency. Third, we do the trial and error to determine the most efficient functor with 10 pairings. Fourth, we measure the portfolio's risk and return with an equally weighted by using mean, variance, standard deviation, covariance, and correlation. After we measure the portfolio's risk and return, we choose Sunway Berhad and Nestle Malaysia Berhad as the most efficient functor. After that, we create an efficient portfolio by using the most efficient functor. Next, we will adjusting the weightage of its stock in the portfolio to determine the most efficient portfolio. As a result, the most efficient portfolio is 60% weightage for Sunway Berhad and 40% weightage for Nestle Malaysia Berhad because it generates 0.88% of the expected return with 4% of the risk. Next part is company background. For Sunway Berhad, it operates in the real estate, construction, hospitality, retail, education, trade, and manufacturing sectors. The mission of Sunway Berhad are to deliver value to all stakeholders, embracing sustainability in business process and decisions, and attracting and nurturing a talented and progressive workforce. Missions of Sunway Berhad are to be Asia's model corporation in sustainable development and innovation to enrich lives for a better tomorrow. Next, the company background of Nestle. Well-known brands Nestle in Malaysia include Maggi, Nescafe, Milo, KitKat, and Nestum, as well as pet care products such as Purina and Friskies. Nestle operates through 2 segments which are food and beverage and incorporates e-nutrition, Nestle Professional, and Nestle Health Science. The vision of Nestle is to be a leading competitive nutrition, health and wellness company, delivering improved shareholder value by being a preferred corporate citizen, preferred employer, preferred supplier, and selling preferred products. Nestle's mission of Good Food, Good Life is to provide consumers with the best tasting, most nutritious choices in the wide range of food and beverage categories. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to Emilia to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Karen. Next, I will present the means and standard deviations. The mean defined as a statistical indicator that can be used to estimate the profit or loss an investor expect to achieve from the portfolio of investment. Mean return is also known as the expected return. Likewise, the standard deviations is the measurements of the average variance. Next, therefore, Sunway and Nestle portfolio means and standard deviations most closer to one another, with the means at 0.72% and the standard deviation at 3.43%, with a differences of only 2.71%. It is important to have the mean and standard deviation close value to one another because its mean indicates a lower risk and higher expected return, which is a safe portfolio to invest in as compared to other portfolio. Thank you.
Sunway has a beta of 0.506741, while Nestle has a beta of negative 0.14075. The average beta of the two stocks is 0.18230. It is 0.18 less than the FTSE Bursa market beta, which is 1. This portfolio return will thus be anticipated to grow by 0.18% if the market beta increases by 1%. It is anticipated that the portfolio return will decline by 0.18% if the market beta falls by 1%. Sunway and Nestle correlation is 0.03934. The two equity move in the same direction as a result of the positive correlation, but correlation strength is weak. Positive link equity may offer largest return, but the risk is frequently highest as well. Correlation for the portfolio is approved since it is near to 0. When a stock price in the portfolio rises, the other stock often do too because of positive correlation.
Now I'm going to present about report on working. An effective frontier is a set of investment portfolio that are predicted to offer the best return for a given risk level. To create an effective frontier, two stocks need to choose as the main stock. Thus, a trial and error for the 5 companies which consist of the Tenaga Nasional Berhad, Mastis Berhad, Axiata Berhad, Sunway Berhad, and Nestle Malaysia Berhad. The result from the trial and error show the Sunway and Nestle are the most suitable stock to be the main stock. Return on stock is calculated by dividing the adjusted cost on the current month stock price with the adjusted cost on the past month stock price and minus 1. For example, adjusted cost on the May divided by the adjusted cost on the April and minus 1. Mean. The number are put together to form a single sum, which is then divided by the set count of the number. Variance. Variance is the measure of the speed of the return over the 12 months. Standard deviation is a measure of the how speed out member are. It is a square root of the variance. Covariance. Covariance is a measure of how the stock return of both company covariate with each other. Correlation is a kind of normalized covariance that has a range between minus 1 and 1. The correlation between Sunway and Nestle is 0.0039, so there is a positive correlation between the two stocks. Beta. The beta able to trade a company's stock performance relative to the market index. The stock market index in Malaysia is Bursa Malaysia with the KLSE. Portfolio return. Calculate by multiply the rate and return on the both company and add together to get the result. Portfolio mean. Calculate as weighted average, which is a weighted sum of the mean of Sunway multiplied Sunway mean plus Nestle weighted multiplied the Nestle mean. Portfolio variance. The calculation of the portfolio variance is the proportion of the Sunway square multiple variance of the Sunway plus the proportion of the Nestle square multiple the variance of the Nestle plus 2 multiple proportion of the Sunway multiple the proportion of the Nestle multiple the covariance. Portfolio standard deviation. The standard deviation of the portfolio is the square root of the variance raised to the power 1 by 2. Effective frontier graph. From the portfolio mean and standard deviation, a graph that shows the effective frontier can be created. The x-axis represents the standard deviation or the riskiness where the high Higher the x-axis value, the riskier the portfolio of the return, while the y-axis represents the return or the reward for holding the stock. So the higher the value of y-axis, the better is to hold the stock. The lower possible risk and the higher possible return is the optimal portfolio. So that's it from my part. Now I will pass to Matt Pigeon.
Thank you, Jenny. Good day, I'm Chong Chu Meng. Lastly, we will discuss about the most efficient portfolio we choose. Based on the calculation, we generate the efficient frontier of graph. And then throughout the graph, we're able to choose the final efficient portfolio based on the lowest risk we can accept and the highest expected return. In final, we choose the Sunway and Nestle as our stock in the portfolio. The weightage is 60% of Sunway and the rest of 40% will be Nestle. The reason we choose Sunway and Nestle is because they have more potential among the companies we choose and they actively diversify their business, especially Sunway. And throughout the calculations, we can observe that combination of Sunway and Nestle able to generate highest portfolio returns throughout the years. Sunway historically shows potential of growth higher, while Nestle generates the stability of stocks. And last, the risk of choosing portfolio is 4%, while the general expected return at 0.88%. And we choose this proportion and weightage of stock based on the perspective of a risk-averse investor. That's all from us. Thank you.